All right, Parnelli, bring it down. Good evening and welcome to Triviamatic Happy Hour. I'm your host, Richard Sue. It's great to be with you here tonight. It's Sunday, June 14th, and it's the first day of summer where I am. The kids are out of school. The weather has turned. We had a lovely day in the Maryland suburbs of Washington, D.C. I hope you are safe and well wherever you are and in a good mood and ready to play some trivia and have some fun. If you've found the Triviamatic YouTube channel, then by now I think you've figured out that you watch along on the YouTube channel and you play along on the Triviamatic app. And so go ahead and open your Triviamatic app and hit Happy Hour. And if you need a game code, tonight's game code is 186452. 186452. And if you don't have the app, I want you to go to the place where you get apps that you like the most, either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Download the Triviamatic app and load it onto your device and go ahead and hit play Happy Hour or enter the code as previously expressed. We're going to wait a minute or two for people to go ahead and join the feed. We have 291 YouTube channel subscribers, and we could really use 9 more to get us to 300. Just feels like a, nice, even round number that puts us on a par with Zack Snyder. So that's great. Tonight's shirt, this is, I'm feeling Santa Claus in a luau. I'm very fond of this shirt. I usually only get to wear it in December, but I figure this is probably what the big guy is doing now. All right, we've got 13 viewers on the channel. Welcome everybody, returnees and new players alike. We hope you have fun. Once again, I'm your host, Richard Sue. Let's go ahead and get started with History Mystery. Round 1 is a multiple choice round. And it's June 14th, and if you thought the world was wackadoodle now, wait until we recap some of the things that have happened on June 14th of years gone past. Here is question 1. Question 1. Happy birthday, Boy George. Known not only for his music, also for his daring sense of fashion, he gained fame as the lead singer for what 80s powerhouse group who wrote songs like this? This is one of my favorites. It's a fun song, so we are looking for Happy Birthday to Boy George, known for his music and his fashion sense, and the lead singer of the band currently singing this song. Now, if you're new to Triviamatic, you'll see that the dark purple line is moving from right to left at the top, and you want to pick one of these answers before the purple gets to the end. That's Boy George. Alright, we're gonna duck out of George so we can answer the question. The question, of course, is the answer to this question is Culture Club. Culture Club. His number 1 hit, Karmic Chameleon, topped the charts in 1982. Here is the leaderboard. Soup Poops Lot, super fast with a score of 50. That is the best you can do. That requires knowing the answer, processing it fast, and having your finger in the right place. So well done, Sir Poops Lot. I am the Lorax, Crosswordies, Garrus, Vicarian, and Sherbelez 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't get attached to the leaderboard. It never stays that way. So, question 2. On this day, in 1775, and in response to the American Revolutionary War, the Second Continental Congress formed the Continental Army, which lasted until 1783, when what treaty ended the war? So on this day in 1775, June 14th, and in response to the Revolutionary War, the Second Continental Congress formed the Continental Army, which lasted until 1783, when what treaty ended the war? So since it is happy hour, cheers everybody. I'm having a Boulevardier, equal parts bourbon or rye, Campari, the Italian liqueur, and vermouth, sweet vermouth, but I only have dry vermouth in the house. And you know what? Under quarantine, you got to do what you got to do. And the person that needed to do it was Treaty of Paris. Treaty of Paris, and George Washington did the thing that got us there. And so did I Am the Lorax 97. Very good. Jennifer Michael, Garrus Vicarian, Lindy, and Chaz Numberstring, my old friend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to question 3. June 14th, on this day, the Trade Unions Act of 1872 passed, granting workers trade union rights. It was the result of efforts by the 9-hour movement in what nation that gave us Tim Hortons and Beaver Tails? And let's be fair, hockey. And let's also balance that out. With all of those good things came Justin Bieber. So on this day, the Trade Unions Act of 1872 passed, granting workers trade union rights. And it was the results of efforts by the 9-hour movement in this nation that gave us Tim Hortons, Beaver Tails, Justin Bieber, and hockey. Yeah. Of course, that is, oh, Canada. And it also gave us poutine, so thanks for that. Poutine, one of the best snack foods known to man that you can make into an entire meal. I Am the Lorax, first place, Garrus Vicarian, Chaz Numberstring, Shingle Nails, and Sue's Sewing Shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Let's go on to question 4. Renowned bass guitarist and jazz composer Marcus Miller gets a happy birthday today. He has slammed on the bass for numerous artists, including What Chain of Fools singer and Queen of Soul. You know, I think I have that here. What do we got? Here we go. That's Marcus. Holding down the bottom. My man is totally in the pocket. The pocket is the groove between the bass player and the drummer. And of course, honestly, I could be the bass player if I had the Queen of Soul singing. No, that's... She would be like, who is this guy? You're fired. Bring me Marcus Miller. I gave it away, but you knew it already. It was Aretha Franklin, the Queen of Soul. As a session musician, Marcus spent 2 years as a member of the house band for Saturday Night Live. All right. Lots of green. I Am the Lorax, Garrus, Shingle Nails, Jennifer Michael, and Sherbelez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to question 5. On to question 5. Potentially the cutest space traveler on record, on June 14th, 1949, Albert II rode a V-2 rocket to become the first monkey in space. Albert II was what specific species of old world monkeys? All right. Apparently there is some drama in the chat. I'm just going to let it go. It is not a thing that I can worry about. Anyway, once again, potentially the cutest space traveler on record, on June 14th, 1949, Albert II rode a V-2 rocket to become the first monkey in space. Albert II was what specific species of old world monkeys? So we want you to choose one of the 4 on this list. And the one that you should choose is the rhesus macaque, which is actually the only monkey on this list. Chimpanzee, ring-tailed lemur, and Hulak gibbon, not monkeys. Monkeying around with the leaderboard, I Am the Lorax in first place, Garrus Vicarian, Dear Reed Eardread. Yeah, I dig it. Dear Reed Eardread, or we're going to go Dear Red Eardread. Let's go with Dear Red Eardread. In third place, Jennifer Michael and Butchie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Question 6. Happy birthday to sports legend Steffi Graf. For over 375 weeks, she was ranked best female in the world in what sport? And I think this earns a sports ball. It earns a sports ball. So happy birthday to sports legend Steffi Graf, who held the number one ranking for females over 375 weeks. In what sport? All right. Let's see if you also were around at the time. Steffi Graf appeared in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, which made a lot of my friends happy. Being the tennis player that she is, Billie Jean King called her the greatest female tennis player ever. And when Billie Jean King calls you the greatest female tennis player ever, you probably are. I am the Lorax, Garrus Vicarian, Dear Red, Dead Ear Dread, Jennifer Michael, and Bucci. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to question 7. Officially a territory, June 14th, 1900, marked the first day what former republic and coffee bean grower was able to use U.S. stamps? So officially a territory, June 14th, 1900, marked the first day what former republic and coffee bean grower was able to use U.S. stamps. June 14th, 1900. While you all think about that, I shall hydrate. Big believer in the hydrating. Recommend everyone do it, especially now that the weather is changing. So, time is up. The answer is Hawaii. Hawaii, also known as the birthplace of Bette Midler and Barack Obama. All right. Here is your leaderboard. I am the Lorax, Garrus Vicarian, Dear Red, Ear Dread, Bucci, Sherbelez 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's move on to the last question of the first round. Happy birthday to Heather McDonald. Heather rose to fame by writing and appearing on Chelsea Lately, but got her start writing with what In Living Color creator? So happy birthday to Heather McDonald. Heather rose to fame by writing for and appearing on Chelsea Handler's show, Chelsea Lately. However, she got her start writing with what In Living Color creator? A family of very talented actors. Got this last name. I'm going to give you a little hint. It's not Tyler Perry. He's Medea and all of the family members. So, in case that got past you, it's not Tyler. It is, however, Keenan Ivory Wayans. That has got to be the best picture of Keenan Ivory Wayans we could have come up with. And that is the end of round 1. Go back around. All right. Leaderboard, I am the Lorax in first place after round 1 with 376 points. Garrus Vicarian in second place. Dear Red Ear Dread, third place. Bucci and Sherbelez, 13, 4, and 5. Rounding out the top 10, Jennifer Michael, Shingle Nails, Sir Poops a Lot, Susu Sewing Shoes, and The Huntman. What we got left is MKD 74 in 11th, Lindy in 12th, Josh in 13th, Chaz Number String in 14th, Crossword Ease in 15th, and a big pool of players today. I love it. Flibberty Gibbet Doozy 16, Befferoni 17th, 10-pound Toblerone 18th, Carolyn Heck 19th, and bringing up the rear, Christmas John Chinesky with his customary 1 point so that everyone can feel accomplished. Let's move on to round 2. Congratulations! I did not mispronounce that. It's on purpose. It's a pun. June is typically the month for commencements, graduations, and the seasonal end of school. Drink. So here are 8 questions about the people and places that make your thinker go, on purpose. This is a multiple choice round. Question 1, Founded in 1636, Harvard is the oldest college in the United States, but it's a spring chicken next to a university in what Italian city, which lends its name to a deli specialty? This is going to go over in my house because this is the kids' favorite. So we are looking for the, well, I can tell you this. It's the oldest university in the world. It's certainly old enough to make Harvard look like a spring chicken by comparison. So Harvard, 1636 founding. This Italian city named for a deli meat. Not named for a deli meat, but shares the name with a deli meat. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I'm kind of hungry now. This is a good question. That answer, the oldest university in the world is the University of Bologna in Italy. I do not know what they teach at the University of Soprasata, but I would like to find out. I am the Lorax, first place. Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian, Bunchi, Sherbalaz, your top 5. Question 2. Remember, we're still on education. Teachers beget teachers. The ancient philosopher Socrates taught Plato, who in turn mentored what philosopher and polymath and founder of the Lyceum? So, teachers beget teachers. The ancient philosopher Socrates taught Plato, who in turn mentored what philosopher and polymath and founder of the Lyceum? See what you can do with this. Sort of like the Bach, Beethoven, Brahms of classical philosophers. Which is funny because that makes it go backwards in time. Never mind. So, Socrates taught Plato, and Plato taught this dude, who was Aristotle. Aristotle, the remains of the Lyceum, destroyed by Romans in 86 BC, were found in a park in modern Athens in 1996, close to I Am the Lorax, who was studying the question. In first place, well done. Dear Red Ear Dread, second place, Garrus Vicarian, third, Bunchi, and Sir Poops-a-Lot round out the top 5. On to question 3. Caps are jubilantly thrown in the air upon decree of graduation. What other name, taken from the name of a masonry tool, does the cap worn by graduates go by? You know what? I think I have graduation music here somewhere. There we go. So, caps are jubilantly thrown in the air upon decree of graduation. What other name, taken from the name of a masonry tool, does the cap worn by graduates go by? All right. Keep that song in your head. It's going to come up in a second. So, the name of the graduation cap, taken from the name of a masonry tool, is a mortarboard. A mortarboard. And this is true. Parents in the know always buy 2 for their graduate. I Am the Lorax in first place with 516, first to 500. Well done. Dear Red Ear Dread, right behind 495. Well done. Garrus Vicarian, Bunchi, Sir Poops-a-Lot round out the top 5, still in this early stage of the game. Anybody's game. So let's move on to question 4. Question 4. What magazine basically exists to throw gas on the fire of our ratings-obsessed culture by publishing its annual Best Colleges ranking? It's been doing this for quite some time, and it feels like the ire over the rankings gets worse and worse with every passing year. But I used to subscribe to this magazine when I was younger, and it basically has no, it's kind of, if you only got it once a year for this issue, that would probably be plenty, and now it's online, so you don't even need to worry that much about it. That magazine is, of course, U.S. News and World Report. And because they just can't leave it alone, they also publish a ranking of the best high schools. And you should see the fights that causes close to where I live. I am Lorax, first place, 564, joined in the 500 club by Dear Red Ear Dread, Gareth Vicarian, and Bucci, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sherbalez knocking on the door. Well done, that's the top 5. Let's move on to question 5. That previous song, Edward Elgar wrote the march Pomp and Circumstance, not for graduation events, but for the coronation of what king, the eldest son of Queen Victoria? Yeah. So this was not a graduation march. This was a coronation march. And it was written for the coronation of what king? The eldest son of Queen Victoria. Now remember, kings in olden days got Handel, George Friedrich, to write marches for them. But Edward, he did a pretty good job, I think. Eddie Elgar. This march, Pomp and Circumstance, was written for Edward VII, who ascended to the throne after the death of his mother Victoria, the longest-serving British monarch at the time, serving a long time atop the leaderboard. I am the Lorax 606, first member of the 600 Club. Well done. 1 second. Yeah, great. I'm good. House is not on fire or anything. Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian Bunchi, and Shingle Nails, 2 through 5. Let's move on. Question 6. Faculty who want to stick around at colleges for a really long time desire this status, a term derived from the Latin word meaning to hold. Break room privileges. Special parking spot. Football ticket. Basketball tickets. Let's see. A special stall at commencement. Speaking at commencement. I don't know. Anyway, faculty who really want to stick around at colleges for a really long time desire this status, a term derived from the Latin word meaning to hold, which is tenure. Tenure. Once a faculty member possesses tenure, it's nearly impossible to boot them. I am the Lorax is proving difficult to boot out of the top spot. 654, really well done. Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Buntji, Sir Poops a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to question 7. Disney's High School Musical series follows the lives and interactions of the East High Wildcats, including a character who has a sound-alike name to what wrinkly breed of dog? I wrote this round. See what I did there? It's high school, but it's actually about an actress whose character is the name of a wrinkly dog. It's good, right? See, I knew you'd appreciate it. So, even if you don't know High School Musical, and believe me, I've spent most of my life trying to avoid watching any of that and the Pitch Perfect series, I still gave you a way to answer the question. The wrinkly breed of dog is the Chinese Shar-Pei. The Shar-Pei. Ashley Tisdale portrayed Shar-Pei, and Shar-Pei's fabulous adventure went straight to DVD, which was a fate better than it deserved. I am the Lorax, blowing through this round. 703, first to 700, well done. Dear Red Ear Dread, still right in there, 636. Garrus Vicarian Bucci, joining Lorax in the 600 club, well done. Sir Poopslot, right behind, that's your top 5. So let's read the last question of round 2. In 12 of the 50 United States, the highest paid public employee works at a university. What position do they hold? So in 12 of the 50 United States, the highest paid public employee works at university. What position do they hold? This is a reasonably tricky question. So 12 of the 50 United States, the highest paid public employee works at university. What position do they hold? It is winding down, so I am going to give you a hint. That's the hint. That's right. The answer to this is basketball coach, because a whopping 28 college football coaches are their state's highest paid public employee. Good grief. College education and sports are broken, and that is the end of round 2. Keep going. All right. Leaderboard. I am the Lorax. See, I told you this was tricky. Dear Red Eardred, Garrus Vicarian, Boonchi, Sir Poopsalot, Shingle Nails, Sherbelez, Jennifer Michael, Susu Sewing Shoes, and MKD74, which I think is my mother-in-law. I actually got the question right. Good job, Grandma. Crossfordies, Josh Raj, Flibberty Gibbet, The Huntsman, Chaz Numberstring, and Lindy, Befferoni, 10-Pound Toblerone, Carolyn Hickton, John Chinesky, and that is the entire leaderboard. So, let us move on to round 3. The crayon is mightier. Grab a juice box and some cookies from Relive Your Childhood as you answer these questions about illustrated kids' books. This is the last of the standard multiple choice rounds. Question 1. A book for kids that's all about raising kids, Please Baby Please, was penned by a married couple, specifically Tanya, and what director of Malcolm X? A book for kids that's all about raising kids, Please Baby Please, was penned by a married couple, Tanya, and what director of Malcolm X? And Mississippi Masala, and She's Gotta Have It, and the Mars Blackman Nike commercials. Everyone's got it now, right? You got your answer in? And Do the Right Thing. Now do you have it? Okay, I'm going to move on. That answer is now officially Spike Lee. And yeah, I'm sure everyone got time to get their answer in. Just trying to move things along. Leaderboard. I am the Lorax. Dear Red Eardred, Garrus Vicarian, 1, 2, 3. Question 2. In the very first Madeline book, the title character is taken to the hospital to undergo what surgery? Wow, this is pretty heavy. The title character is taken to the hospital to undergo what surgery? And as well you know, there is no such thing as minor surgery. Hello, Madeline. Come with us. Oh, boy. Madeline, anyone ever tell you about the black market? No. That has nothing to do with the black market. In the very first Madeline book, Madeline is taken to the hospital to undergo an appendectomy. Appendectomy. All right. Leaderboard. There's the leaderboard. Lorax, Dear Red, Garrus, Boonchi, and Shingle Nails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to question 3. One of the most popular children's books ever, Margaret Wise Brown's Goodnight Moon, features what Chinese zodiac creature wishing inanimate objects a good night? One of the most popular children's books ever, Margaret Wise Brown's Goodnight Moon, features what Chinese zodiac creature wishing inanimate objects a good night? I actually think that book is on the shelf over there, but I'm not going to get up and look for it. Margaret Wise Brown also wrote another book about this same creature, which references the creature in the title of the book. But right now we're focused on Goodnight Moon. And the animal wishing good night to everything in the room is the bunny. The bunny. Oh, bunny. Leaderboard. I am the Lorax. First to 800, 825. Well done. Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian, Boonchi, Shingle Nails. Rounding out the top 5, Susu Sewing Shoes, Jennifer Michael, Sherbalas, Sir Poops Lot, Crossword Ease, and I'm calling out my mother-in-law, MKD74, for not getting this right because she was read Goodnight Moon 80 times to my children alone. Next question. Love you, Grandma. Question 4. Famous as the woman behind the eternally adorable Peter Rabbit, Flopsy Bunny, and Mrs. Tiggy Winkle, Beatrix Potter was born in what city that is home to professional soccer team Arsenal FC? The football club, known as the Gunners, Beatrix Potter was born in what city that is home to the red-wearing Arsenal Gunners? Dig it. So, we are looking for the hometown of Beatrix Potter, home to professional soccer team Arsenal, which plays in the English Premier League. It's also home to a large clock and a bridge and Parliament. Not George Clinton and P-Funk, but the British Parliament, which of course makes this answer London. London. I am the Lorax. 825, still in first place. Dear Ready or Dread, Garrus Vicarian, Boonchi, Shingle Nails. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Question 5. Ezra Jack Keats' The Snowy Day tells the tale of a child who wants nothing more than to play in a snowball fight. The book's adorable collage artwork earned Keats what award for the most distinguished American picture book for children? Fun fact, this badge is, award is basically how parents pick books for their kids at the library. They take the books off the shelf, they look for the ones that are badged, they put the other ones back, usually not in the same place, then they head to the checkout line. That's all you need to do in case you don't have kids, but need to come up with a book for somebody close to you. Ezra Jack Keats' The Snowy Day was awarded the Caldecott Medal. The Caldecott Medal. But in case you were wondering, if you get a book with a Newbery Award, that's pretty good too. I am the Lorax, Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian, Bucci, Shingle Nails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sherbelez, Susu Sewing Shoes, Sir Poops a Lot, Jennifer Michael, and Josh Ratch. Round out the top 10, MKD, Love You Grandma, Huntsman, Chaz, Number String, Crosswordies, and Lindy. 11 through 15, Flibberty Gibbet, 10-pound Toblerone, Befferoni, Carolyn Hecht, and Chinesky. The rest of the game players. Let's move on to question 6. The Very Hungry Caterpillar was hungry indeed. He nommed on a range of foods, including chocolate cake, Swiss cheese, and what food that you have to brine. Also a great book. Eric Carley. The Very Hungry Caterpillar was very hungry and ate a range of foods, including chocolate cake, Swiss cheese, and what food that you have to brine. Let's see. The foodies among you know that brining is a process by which food is preserved. In vinegar or some other type of acid, which makes the only natural answer for this a pickle. And afterwards, he had a stomachache. Leaderboard. I am the Lorax, first to 900. Well done. She does not have a stomachache. Dear Red Ear Dread, 897, also doing well, 3 points shy of 900. Garrus, Bunchy, Shingle Nails, rounding out the top 5. Question 7. Let the Wild Rumpus Start. Maurice Sendak's book, Where the Wild Things Are, was popular enough to get a movie featuring the voice of what Home Alone actress? Maurice Sendak's beloved book, Where the Wild Things Are, was popular enough to get a movie featuring the voice of what Home Alone actress? We've been watching this actress a lot since we are home during the stay-at-home order, binging a lot of shows. And we are watching many of the mockumentaries by Christopher Guest, of which this person is featured prominently. And also the Canadian show Schitt's Creek, which means we are talking about Catherine O'Hara. She voiced one of the Wild Things along with Tony Soprano and the dude that drove around in a Jeep with Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam. Here's the leaderboard. I am the Lorax, Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus, top 3, also the only members of the 900 Club. So let's move to question 8. Question 8. Olympic gold medal winner and 2-time world champion Kristi Yamaguchi wrote Dream Big Little Pig, whose cover features a dressed-up piglet engaged in what activity for which Yamaguchi was famous? So Kristi Yamaguchi is your first clue. It's pretty much the biggest part of the clue. The cover features a dressed-up piglet engaged in what activity for which Kristi Yamaguchi was famous? Other people famous for the same activity include Scott Hamilton, Dorothy Hamill, Sonja Henie, and well, that's pretty good. All of those people are ice skaters. Ice skaters. And that is the end of round 3. Your leaderboard, I am the Lorax, 1001. Well done. Just over the 1,000 point mark. First person there after 3 rounds. Impressive indeed. Dear Red Ear Dread, right behind Garrus Vicarian, right behind Bucci, the members of the 900 Up Club, and Sherbelez, rounding out the top 5. Shingle Nails, Jennifer Michael, Susu Sewing Shoes, Chaz Number String, and Sir Poop Slot, rounding out 6 through 10. Crossword Ease, The Huntsman, Lindy John Ratch, my mother-in-law, 10-pound Toblerone, my brother-in-law, Flipper to Jim and Doozy, Befferoni and Carolyn Hecht, and Chinesky, the rest of the leaderboard. So, let us move to round 4, the pick 3 round. I am going to take this moment to hydrate while you read the text, because we can work together on this. Pretty sure. So, instead of reading you a question, I'm going to give you a category, and the screen will pop up with 5 answers, of which you will pick 3, and you will pick 3 that match the category. If you get all 3, you get full credit. If you get 2 right, you'll get half credit. If you get 1 right, you will get no credit. And I believe your esteemed leader, I am the Lorax, figured out that there's something like a 70% chance that if you pick 3 at random, you'll either get full credit or partial credit. So your strategy is pick fast. And if you know the category, that much the better. So thanks for the quick math. I am the Lorax. Full disclosure, we went to engineering school together, and I cheated off her papers. Routinely. She knew it. Pick 3. Question 1. Varieties of Coca-Cola available in the United States as of 2020. This is actually trickier than I think, because they redid Diet Coke flavors in all kinds of wackadoodle flavors, some of which appear on this list. So, varieties of Coca-Cola available in the United States as of 2020, and I guess I would be well suited as a fanatic of Diet Soda to answer this question, but this would even be hard for me, I think. So, let's see what you can come up with. Varieties of Coca-Cola available in the U.S. as of 2020. So believe it or not, they include cherry, orange vanilla, and energy. Energy. Yeah. There is Diet Coke with lime, but that's Diet Coke. All right. And of course, we're not talking about the large machines where you can make an infinite number of permutations. All right. I Am the Lorax is joined in the 1,000 point club by Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian right behind Bunchy and Sherbelez in 4th place and 5th place. So let's move on to French fashion houses. Oh, we French are so fashionable. You may not come into our maison. Actually, what is the name for French fashion house? What do they call it? An atelier. Thank you. Yeah. You may not enter our atelier without a reservation. It is atelier, right? Someone correct me in the comments. That'd be good. We're still back on Energy Coke. What is Energy Coke and where do I find it? I don't know, man. I cannot help you with that. I have moved on to the French cultural question. Atelier de la France. They include, of course, Louis Vuitton and Atelier de Coco Chanel and Christian Dior. None of which can be found off the rack. And you have me to tell you what off the rack is, then you clearly do not shop at Nordstrom. Leaderboard. Actually, we're not doing a whole lot of shopping at all these days. I Am the Lorax, Dear Red Ear Dread, and Garrus Vicarian. Excuse me. The 3 members occupying the 1,000 point club. Bucci in 4th place and Sherbelez in 5th place. Still lots of games left to go. Game left to go and questions left. Question 3, we are looking for American-born authors. So, just to be clear, these are people that have written books that have been born in the United States. I have been informed there is a trick in this, in the answer. So if you are astute enough to pick it up or to already know the answer, count it. So, American-born authors. Which I think you could probably figure this one out even if you did not know the trick. J.R.R. Tolkien, one of my favorites. Author of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, among others. Roald Dahl. Lots of kids' books. Neither of them were born in the United States. J.D. Robb is a pseudonym for Nora Roberts. That's the trick. No trick to the leaderboard. I Am the Lorax, 1106, first member of the 1100 Club. Dear Red Ear Dread, just behind 1090. Well done, both. Garrus Vicarian and Bunchy join you in the 1,000 point club. And Sherbelez, 988, Shingle Nails, Jennifer Michael, Susu Sewing Shoes, Chaz Number String, and Crosswordies rounding out the top 10. So let's move on to question 4. We are looking for 3 of the 5 of these that are South American nations capitals. I tried to go with nations, then I went with national, I ended up with national, which is different than notional, which I don't have a mind for. So, South American national capitals, 3 of these 5. See what you can figure out. How much of your Geography B information you retain from middle school. South American national capitals. All right, as the clock runs down, Georgetown in Guyana, Santiago and Lima, Peru. Brasilia is actually the capital of Brazil. I Have the Lorax, Dear Red Ear Dread, Garrus Vicarian, Bunchy, Sherbelez, all your top 5, all 1,000 point club members Still got some game left. Let's move on to question 5. TV shows based on works by Stephen King. TV shows based on Stephen King works. A little surprised not to see a Red Sox reference in here somewhere, but I don't actually know that anyone has done a TV show based on Stephen King's diary writings of the Red Sox run to the World Series in 2004. But if you get a chance to read it, you should. It is hilarious. Stephen King, probably a erudite as person as there could be, reduced to a blubbering fool when talking about his favorite baseball team. I'm not throwing stones. I'm the same way. So, TV shows based on Stephen King works include The Dead Zone, Castle Rock, and Under the Dome. Castle Rock features the Shawshank Prison. I am the Lorax, first place. Dear Red Eardred within 12 points of the lead. Garrus Vicarian, Bunchi, and Sherbelez top 5. Shingle Nails in 6. Jennifer Michael in 7th. Susu Sewing Shoes. Chaz Numberstring and Crossword Ease round out the top 10. So let's keep going. Question 6. Past or present social networking sites. They were all the rage to sign up for once. And then someone pointed out, that's a tremendous security risk to have all your personal information floating around out there. So, let's see what you remember. I don't think I used all of these, but I couldn't have used all of these because only 3 of them are real. So, only 3 of them are past or present social networking sites. Let's see. As time runs down, I did use the short video service called Vine. I did use Google+, and I did not use Friendster, but FaceBase is fake, and I don't know about Zapier. It's probably like a disk defragmenter. I am the Lorax clearly does not need her discs defragged. She's 1209, first member of the 1200 Club. Well done. Dear Red Eardred, 1198. Garrus Vicarian, 1190. Bunchi, 1111. I love it when that score comes up. I don't really know how or why, but there seems to be one every single time I host. Sherbelez, 1067, also in the 1000 Point Club. Shingle Nails. And Jennifer Michael, 6 and 7. 8th, Susu Sewing Shoes. 9, Chaz Numberstring, and 10, The Huntsman. So let's get to the last 2 questions of round 4. Question 7, colors with elemental names. Colors with elemental names. So I am going to go out on a limb and say that these, obviously, the list of answers includes elements and colors. 2 of the pairings do not make sense. How about that? Colors with elemental names. While you think about that, I'm going to get some element in me. Good old H2O. And I'm going to follow that up with some soluble ethanol. And I'm going to follow that up by telling you that the answer is cobalt blue, titanium white, and cadmium yellow. All right. And let's take a look at the leaderboard, which has lots of verdant green. I am the Lorax, Dear Red Eardred, Garrus Vicarian, and Bucci, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Sherbelez. Partial credit for 5th. Count it. Shingle Nails, Jennifer Michael, Susus, Chaz String, and Crossword Ease, your top 10. Let's move to the last question of round 4, hair dye brands. I actually think that a lot of people are going to get this one right because people have been going a couple different ways. They're either like me, and they're going cold turkey, or they're going cold turkey the other way and eschewing all shaving and grooming entirely, which makes my 2 teenagers look like the offspring of Grizzly Adams. Or they are dyeing. They are going platinum and red and green and rainbow and purple and anything you feel comfortable putting on since no one's gonna see you. So, hair dye brand. Because I guess if I wanted to dye my hair, I would just go get some Kool-Aid and rub it on my forehead. That would dye the one hair. So, Manic Panic, Colorista, and Splat. Pretty sure Urban Decay is fingernail polish, and I have no idea about Catwalk. That is the end of round 4. Leaderboard! I am the Lorax, clearly knows her hair color, 1291 in first place. Dear Red Eardread, 1254. Garrus Vicarian, 1244. The 3 members of the 1200 Club. Well done. Butchie, Sherbalaz, round out the top 5. Shingle Nails, Jennifer Michaels, Sue Sue's. Sewing Shoes, Crosswordies, and the Huntsman round out the top 10. Chad Strain, Josh Ratch, 10-pound Toblerone, Lindy, and MKD, 11 through 15, Sir Poopslot, Flip It to Gibbet, Befferoni, Carolyn Hecht went to cook dinner, as I understand from the chat, and John Chinesky, who has 1 point, but probably just to mess with Carolyn, is going to answer the last question. That is the leaderboard going into the Answer Fast round. Now, the Answer Fast round always requires a little bit of explanation. Here's how this works. The Answer Fast round consists of 5 clues, progressively getting easier each time, that all point to the same answer. Now, I'll read each clue and then hide it and then read another one, and you will enter in free text your answer. Now, it is important to answer quickly, but it is more important to answer correctly, because once you enter your answer, you are locked in for the remainder of the round. You can't change your answer. So if you get it right, you'll get lots of points. But if you get it wrong, you will get no points. So while it is important to be fast, it is critical to be right. And I tend to read these fast at the beginning to give people more chance to score higher points. John is currently putting in some helpful tips in the chat. Spelling counts. It's not case sensitive. Do not put a space before or after the answer, since that is the great question of computing that we have not yet figured out in this app. All 5 hints point to the same answer, as we have said before, and this answer is a 1-word answer. I'm going to play some background music because it'll come up. But this background music tonight is the song Way Down in the Hole by the Blind Boys of Alabama. And you'll see why I'm playing it in a second. Here is clue number 1. Question 1, I am a city in Alabama. See? Located 40 miles east of Montgomery, I am the county seat of Macon County, with a population of slightly over 11,000. I am not Selma. I am not Selma. So I'm a city located in Alabama, 40 miles east of Montgomery. I am the county seat of Macon County, with a population of slightly over 11,000, and am not Selma. So, hint number 2. In 1941, during World War II, I was the site where an all-American pursuit squadron was formed. Despite segregation and prejudice, the squadron became one of the highly respected fighter groups of World War II. Okay. In 1941, during World War II, I was the site where an all-American pursuit squadron was formed. Despite segregation and prejudice, the squadron became one of the most highly respected fighter groups of World War II. I'm going to hide this and read hint number 3. The fighter group named after me are generally referred to as the Me Airmen. The Me Airmen, the fighter group that was formed in World War II, the highly decorated fighter squad. The blank Airmen, what am I? All right, question 4, hint 4 rather. I was the site of a famous experiment involving syphilis in African American men that began in 1932 and continued for many years with many unnecessary deaths. So usually by the time we get to the fourth clue, people have a pretty good idea. I'll read it again. I was the site of a famous experiment involving syphilis in African American men that began in 1932 and continued shamefully for many years with many unnecessary deaths. All right, clue number 5. While my name is 8 letters long, the first 4 are a word for the elongated, greatly enlarged tooth most associated with elephants, and the last 3 letters rhyme with the word C. So, I'll let people get their last answers in. I'll recap so you don't have to go through it. I'm a city located in Alabama, 40 miles east of Montgomery, county seat of Macon, with a population of 11,000, and am not Selma. During 1941, in World War II, I was the site where an All-American Pursuit Squadron was formed that became one of the most highly respected fighter groups of World War II. That group is known as the Blank Airmen, site of a famous American experiment involving syphilis in African American men that resulted in unnecessary deaths. And sounds like Muskegee. Right, let's move on. That answer is Tuskegee. The Tuskegee Airmen was the name of the squad. Thurgood Marshall, the future Supreme Court Justice, got his start defending Tuskegee bomber trainees who were arrested and charged in Indiana for entering an all-white officers club. And that is the end of Triviamatic Happy Hour. Got it. I am the Lorax 1547, the high score, your first place winner of the evening. Dear Red Eardred 1498, well played. Shingle Nails in third place 1282. Jennifer Michael, fourth place. Garris Vicarian in fifth. 6 through 10, Crossford Ease, the Huntsman, Josh, Ratch, Susu Sewing Shoes, and Bucci. 11 through 15, 10-pound Toblerone, Sherbelez, Chaz Number String, Lindy, and MKD 74. And rounding out the leaderboard, Sir Poops a Lot, Flippertijabit Doozy, Befferoni, Carolyn Hecht, and John Chinesky. That is the end of Triviamatic. That's the end of tonight's edition of Triviamatic Happy Hour. I hope you had a great time playing tonight. Remember, you can play any night of the week with any of our excellent hosts at 8 p.m. Eastern or whatever time it is where you are. Our hosts are the excellent Craig Reed, Ethan T. Berlin, Kim Roth, Tommy Dickey, and myself. Thanks to John Chinesky, knower of things, writer of questions, keeper of the chat. Thank you to Digital Pomegranate for creating the Triviamatic app. I'm Richard Sue. It's been my pleasure to be your host tonight. I bid you adieu. Be safe, be kind, be patient. Good Lord, be patient. And in the words of that noted philosopher, Bill S. Preston, be most excellent to each other. Good night, everybody.